Hallo und herzlich willkommen, ich bin's mal wieder, euer Lieblingsjosef und ich bin immer noch auf dem Reload und ich habe immer weiter phänomenal werdende Gäste von mir, phänomenal werdende Gäste bei mir, nämlich den Andreas von In Flames. You've been in the music industry for a very long time and I've got some, I think, rather unorthodox questions. What is the most weird thing that you guys ever signed? Except for record deals, because they are unorthodox.
Yeah, well, you know,
level.
people tend to bring a baby.
A baby?
Yeah, I can see your reaction. I think we refused to do it as well. So, but someone came with a baby, like obviously a parent. It was not just a random baby. It was like someone's baby.
Someone just stole a
like,
child.
Yes. But we were like, no. That's where we draw the line. But, yeah.
Okay, a baby.
Yeah.
I think it would have been funny to if I saw a signed In Flames baby. Not as funny as I'm not going there with the dark humor.
I don't know. It's kind of strange, but yeah. So that should be the most strange thing.
Have you ever gotten a signature from another artist that you are really proud of that you grabbed?
I am not a autograph collector. You know?
Okay.
So I never really been, honestly. Even in my youth, it has not been a big thing. So maybe I have. No. You know, like when I was 8, a local soccer player or something, you know, like someone like that. But no, I don't have anything.
Is there anything you've always dreamed of owning but haven't had the chance to get?
A big ass boat.
A big as what?
Boat. That would be amazing.
Boat.
Yeah, big ass boat, like
like a yacht.
Yeah, that would be nice. But I would like more like a sailing boat. You know,
a sailing boat.
Yeah.
How would you decorate your sailing boat?
A nice kitchen, that would be nice, you know. That's the most important thing, I think. Yeah, so I can eat good food.
Eating good food. What?
You know,
what
barbecue, whatever I bring from the ocean.
I'm surfing on that boat thing for a little while more.
Yeah.
What would be the
I
first?
I love the ocean, so yeah.
You love the ocean?
Yeah.
What would be the first? I believe the answer will be fish, but what will be the first thing that you will cook on your sailing boat in your nice ass kitchen on the sailing boat?
I would try to dive for some oysters or some, you know, different shellfish, stuff like that. Yeah, and cook that.
Are you diving regularly?
No. But I mean, you can find oysters, especially in Sweden, like in shallow water or you know, normal mussels, stuff like that, and you can do really nice boiled mussels and different stews and stuff like that. So obviously oysters I won't eat raw, but yeah.
What's the most beautiful part of the ocean that you've ever seen?
That I've ever seen? Probably I like when it's like super nice weather, sailing between Sweden and Denmark, and there's like total open sea, then you don't see land anywhere. That's really nice. But also I've been in Croatia sailing. That's really nice. The water is amazing. I've been in Turkey. That was beautiful too. So yeah.
On your
Norwegian fjords would be amazing.
The Norwegian fjords sound amazing to travel through. In your long history as a musician, is there a stage that you always want to go back to? Size doesn't matter, but the stage
a stage.
A club or a venue or a festival.
I mean the like Scandinavian, which is like the biggest indoor stadium we have in Gothenburg. That's amazing to go back there again and again, because that's the place me and my friends went to when we saw bands coming through when we were younger. You know, so Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and those type of bands when they came through. So that we are able to play that venue today is amazing. So that's obviously close to my heart. But there's not so much like the venue, the play. It's more like go anywhere where meet cool people. You know, that's the biggest joy of, I think, being in a band, travel and seeing people, meeting people that enjoy the same type of music and share the experience. So
sharing experiences is a very interesting segue into my next question. Is there a piece of non-musical art that informed the way you approach producing music, conceptualizing music for In Flames?
I think not art per se, you know, but we live in a strange world, strange times, and that obviously inspire us to both write and how the aggression that's coming out, and that's how we deal with the state around us, you know. But I'm not an I don't read a lot of books, so that doesn't really inspire me. I do it once in a while, and then I read many books, and then I don't read for years, and then I go back again. Yeah, sort of. And art in itself, I love to go to, you know, museums and stuff like that. But it's not something I would say inspire the music that we do.
Okay.
But that being said, I think bits and pieces of what is happening around you, whatever it might be, inspire you to do the music that you do.
Looking through a museum, is there a piece of art that you really would want to steal from a museum?
No, that's not where I go to immediately steal stuff.
Okay, well, let's say there's a museum.
That's a
with
nice one. I want to have it in my own collection. I don't really
right.
go. That's not what comes into mind. I go there to, you know, have a nice time and explore it and view it, and that's what it is.
Appreciating the thing that's there for everybody to see.
Yeah, instead of taking it for myself.
That's a very beautiful sentiment, like putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
Except
I mean, that's what we do with the music too. You know? Where like, whenever we've done with an album, up until the day of the release, it's ours. But then you release the music, and then it doesn't belong to us anymore. It belongs to everyone else for their enjoyment, you know.
I heard that approach, that way of thinking about the music that someone makes themselves earlier in my career as a interview guy, and I think it's very beautiful, like the process of sharing your inner self, your interpretation of the thing that you love, that you love to make with other people. Is there a thing that you made that is non-musical that you love to share with the community of your listeners, or the other connoisseurs of the art that you produce in another way?
No, I'm fairly private. So
Okay.
yeah, and so whatever is out there, that's what I want to share.
So
I don't have anything that I mean, it's, if it would be something, I would do it. I definitely go ahead and do it, but I don't have anything. You know, there's stuff, music-wise stuff, sorry, that we haven't released. That's you know, in a drawer somewhere. I write a lot of music that's just for my own pleasure. You know, just because it's fun to write music. I need to create. I love to create. So, but it usually is like, oh, there it is, next one, and next one, and next one. Yeah. So I have like hundreds and hundreds of bits of music or songs on my hard drives.
Okay, hundreds of bits of music of songs.
Easily. Yeah, easily. That probably will never see the light of day. It's just because I like to write.
This one really is a very, very interesting approach. You produce a wide variety. You write a wide variety of music, and you probably, through the process of sharing those things with your band, concentrate the results that will end on the record, or is that another process entirely?
I mean, there's stuff that I do that has should not be on an In Flames album, for instance. If we're talking about In Flames, like Björn and I, we know exactly what we want for an In Flames album, and then and when we write an album, we do it from beginning to end, and we don't have tons of bonus tracks. We rather like this part doesn't fit, so skip that and write something that we really, really like, both of us. But then I write music for myself in another project called If Anything Suspicious, which is more an ambient synth-based, even though I have pianos and guitar and drums in there too, so-called real instruments. Yeah. If we're talking to heavy metal people, synths are not really whatever. It's to me they are. So I do that, and that's where I have the freedom to explore so much more, like a wider range, and I do it 100% just for me, and yeah, I decide what's happening or not happening, and there I can just write. So I do a lot of that type of music in my house on my own, and definitely during the pandemic, because what else? I mean, we were not. I mean, of course, we were a band because we were still existing, but we were not together, so we couldn't create music together. So that's where I really picked up that side of things and started write. But for In Flames, so far what you heard, that's the only music that exists.
Looking at your solo project again, because synthesizers come up a lot this weekend for some reason. What is your favorite type of synthesizer? Do you prefer the analog ones or the purely digital?
They have different flavors, like it depends on what you want to do. Digital is great because it's in tune and you can create a lot of stuff. But I think, my all-time favorite, if I pick one synth to go to that island somewhere, the one synth, it would be a Mini Moog, because that was like the holy grail of synths for me,
legendary, and a legendary non-real instrument.
I know it's very real. I had to explain this to a lot of guitar players. You have to tune it. You have to, it's kind of like playing a guitar, but not. But you have to treat it in the same way, And you have, the filters and their envelopes and everything. And you can shape and sculpture your sound as much as you can with the guitar, or maybe even more. But yeah, no, I love everything. I'm, a couple of years I've been into Eurorack, if you know what that is, like where you patch yourself.
Yes.
And it looks very crazy to some people, and it is fairly crazy, but you can build your own synth. And there's so many brands that create different kinds of, small little things, and you can just it's honestly how can I say it? You can lose hours in there without even doing any music. It's just like making sounds and creating atmosphere, and you better press record when you start, because sometimes you can never come back to, or usually you can never come back to what you originally started, and I think that's also very cool that it just exists there and then, and it's very hard to reproduce, and yeah. It's like Lego for big boys.
It's Lego for your ears.
Lego for big boys.
The approach of producing music with an analog synthesizer and the approach of writing music for a very metal band are deviating much from each other. I believe.
Yes and no. I mean, you should still feel it. It should feel right, feel good. You in the end, it's your music, whatever you do, and if you're happy, then hopefully someone else is happy as well. But of course, metal music and ambient synth music is vastly different genres. But at the same time, it's you can find things that are similar in both. I mean, I still work with normal scales. I don't go to any crazy scales, and that's what we do within metal as well. So,
Have you ever tried writing something in microtonal music?
I've approached it a little bit, but it's not something for me just yet.
Okay.
But with this Eurorec that I'm talking about, there's a lot of happy accidents, and you can, go into that field if you want to. I like when there's it can't be auto tune, but when there's some stuff that are a little bit there, it should hurt. It should be something that is just it's when it's just pitch perfect and every note is exactly correct all the time. It tends to be boring. Like I want something that is it should be there should be a human behind it.
Funnily enough, I had a talk some time ago with, I believe it was Jen Majura, a great guitarist from Germany. We talked about drum synths, and the fact that they do not and cannot sound human without a human modding it to sound human. They usually.
But that is also strange. That
they sound super perfect.
Yeah. But if you want to have a certain drum machine, don't you want it to sound like the drum machine? Do you want the drum machine to turn into something more human? I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, either you're after that type of flavor or you're not. Then
you cannot have your cake and eat it too in that case. Of course.
No. And I mean, I go after different drum machines when I use it for. I want this flavor, now I want that flavor. I don't want it to be humanized too much. So I want it to sound like a machine.
That's pretty fucking techno, making it sound like a machine.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't want this exactly the same beat all the time. Maybe you have, there's some randomization in there, and then you change that up. But I think it should sound like a drum machine if there's a drum machine.
So you're having a conversation with the drum machine you're using and trying to find if it produces the right flavor for the project.
Yeah. I mean, it's like choosing the right guitar amp for a certain thing, or when we record, we try out different snare drums, for instance, or different type of skins, or different. It depends on the song and depends on what you're after in the end.
I got one last question also regarding the technical topic, and then I think the interview is filled up enough with the technical stuff. Is there a device that you use regularly on tour while writing music that had a very difficult communication process with the machine itself? Between you and the device itself.
I don't really understand what you mean.
Is there a device that you used to make music that unfortunately is really hard to figure out, that a device that did not enter the realm of your regular instrument usage?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer either. I mean, I don't know how to answer.
That's fine.
Because when it comes with In Flames, pretty traditional, right? We use, there's a bass, a guitar, a drums, a vocals, and occasional synths. But with the other project, I use all kinds of things, and sometimes I do not understand them, but that's fun too, because you go in there and things happen that is not meant to happen, but then it sounds awesome. But it could be just using a radio and then searching around, and you get into certain frequencies, and all of a sudden you can take that part and you can use that. It becomes some sort of a loop, an untraditional drum loop, or like stuff like that, and so some synths, some machines are difficult to get into, but that's the fun part of it too, and yeah, I love the fact when you have these happy accidents. You
out there, try something difficult sometime. Evolve yourself, your music, and the things that you love. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and of course, rock and roll. Goodbye.